One of the ways that you can gain an understanding of human behavior is to listen to the artists and their stories. Because of course, the stories are about us, about human beings in our lives, our books and plays and series and movies. And in the stories about leadership, the leader inevitably asks one question: is it better to be loved or feared? And we know that the answer is loved. Love is a more powerful motivator, a more powerful tool of behavior change. Fear has power. Fear will have you run from the burning house, but love will have you run into the burning house. When soldiers come home from combat and they're asked, what got you through this harrowing situation, this life or death situation? Their answer is love. They say, this is my brother right here, this is my sister, and I would fight for them. I would die for them. They say, I love this country, I love our freedom, and I'm willing to fight for it. They say, I love those people back home, and I was going to get home to them. And yet, although we know love is the more powerful motivator, although the science confirms this, we use fear most of the time, especially when we're not getting the behavior or performance that we think we should. And we do this in three major areas of our lives. Number one, as a society, and especially here in America, we have a representative government. So the government on our behalf, using the police force, when we see behavior that is antisocial or criminal, we get tough. We crack down. And the attitude of the population is almost always that we need to be tougher, that we become too weak, too woke, and we need to go back to a time when we were strong, when we were tougher, when we were more harsh with our punishments. And the truth is, the further you go back in history, the more harsh the punishments were, and the higher the crime rate was. In America today, the attitude is generally that we're too weak, too woke, too soft. I was doing some consulting work with a police department, doing leadership coaching with the chief and his deputy chiefs. And I started watching arrest videos during that period of time. And if the arrestee, the videos that make their way to us are the ones where the behavior of the arrestee is so abhorrent, it's exciting to watch. And if the arrestee didn't get, harsh punishment, the comment section was just lit up with people talking about that being the reason why we're seeing so much crime, that we're not tough enough. We don't punish people enough. And the result here in America of that attitude and this approach and this focus on fear is that we have the highest per capita incarceration rate of any country. Now, if this get tough approach worked, wouldn't we see a equal reduction in the crime? But that's not what you see. America, in fact, has a high crime rate. Now, it's a complex issue. I'll grant you that. But what we can say with some confidence is that our approach doesn't work very well. The president now says if we implement the death penalty for drug dealers, it'll eliminate the drug problem overnight. Google death penalty effectiveness. Then Google does punishment work and see what the results look like. The second area of our lives where we use fear is in the workplace. Most managers will tell you that that's their job. They don't say it's to scare people, but when the manager says get back to work, they're just leaving out that or else part that scares you so much. When the manager says, I need to talk to you in my office, that's a scary thing to hear. Most managers say it's their job to stay on top of people, to hold their feet to the fire. Fear is the primary tool. What are the results? 7 out of 10 workers are disengaged. Experts estimate that the subsequent lack of productivity cost the global economy $9 trillion a year. Now again, it's a complex issue, and the manager being tough is not the only reason for worker disengagement. But according to the workers, it is the number one reason. The third area of our lives where we're tough, where we use fear when we don't get the behavior or performance that we want, is with our kids. And Who among us, when you were a kid, didn't experience a time when your parents said you're just not listening, and they were punishing you and putting you on restriction and doing everything they could to change a behavior that just never changed, where you really struggled, where they were really frustrated? And who among us as a parent hasn't experienced that, where you took that basic approach, carrot stick, punishment, reward. You did everything that you could, and you just felt like, I can't get this kid to listen. They just won't. We know that love is a more powerful tool for behavior change. Love, operationalized, if you will, that is to say, put into a form such that it can be used to change behavior, is called a strengths-based approach. If you are looking to change behavior, if you're thinking about your role as a citizen and deciding who to vote for and what policies to back, if in the workplace you're in a position of authority and you're wanting to motivate workers, if you're a parent and wanting to change the behavior of your child, the science is clear. Love works best. And love put into a method, a methodology, a form for you to use is called a strengths-based approach. If you're looking to change behavior, you should check it out.